Look at the screen. Come on, cause you really need to see it to believe it. Take a look. We've got Granny Goodness pouring poison down Queen Hegra's throat. Granny says, "Die, Hegra," and Hegra says, "And you really do need to look to see I'm not making this up." She says, as she's drowning in poison, "Goodness, if you ever want power, I pass it to you. The book. My work. In the end, woman must help woman." This bitch is killing you. Literally killing you. And you want to give her your secrets because vagina? Seriously. For the last 5 minutes, Granny Panties tried to strangle you but didn't have the grip. This was before her time with Darkseid, so her hand game wasn't up to par. Now she's pouring poison down your throat and you pass her your super secret vagina monologues as she kills you. Why? You're over here on the floor guzzling Darkseid spunk and you're like, "Go Team Vagina. Woman must help woman." Yeah, help your ass into the afterlife. What kind of feminist bullshit is this? Woman must help woman. As this bitch murders you. This is why feminists don't talk about lesbian domestic violence. They think anytime a woman touches another woman, it's all like, "Vagina powers activate." And how the fuck is she talking? Her mouth is full. Full. She shouldn't even be able to gargle, but this bitch belts out 5 sentences. She has time for pauses. Fucking dramatic pauses. Her deep throat game must be on point. Welcome to Cecil Castellucci's Fourth World, where possessing the vag lets you get a murder pass. Holy fuck is this book bad. Like bad on purpose bad. None of this is an accident. Cecil deliberately ruins her own story and Jack Kirby's characters like she's trying to find out what Didio will let her get away with. Who edited this book? What's your name? Jamie Rich. Jamie, did you not read the script? How do you let this shit get past you? You got a character telling another character that us women should stick together as she's being killed. What the fuck are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? Because it's not your job. Any good, no, scratch that. Any decent editor would stop something so ridiculous from ever seeing print. It shouldn't have even reached the artist. The whole scene is dumb, but that's not the least of your problems. The art is all over the place, the writing is an embarrassment, and then there's this shit. So this issue picks up with a flashback of Granny Panties taking Orion from his mother. This is a trade called the Pact that happens between Highfather from New Genesis and Darkseid from Apocalypse. The point of the trade is to prevent a war between the two worlds, so the two men exchange sons. Now, for this whole miniseries, we're meant to feel sorry for Granny Panties because she's the victim of evil men because patriarchy. So here's our heroine chucking a child like a rag doll into a boom tube, and then twirling her pubes in villainous glee. It happens off panel, but you can totally tell she's touching herself. Now that Orion's gone, she's got Darkseid all to herself. Darkseid tears apart Hegra's room looking for the book she gave to Granny Panties. He wants it to help with his research about the anti-life equation, which is never really explained in this comic because fuck you. Then Granny Panties shows him Highfather's boy, and Darkseid tells her to train the boy in her terror orphanage, what a charming name, until one day when he may conveniently escape. That's your plan. Train him, meaning teach him how to fight and teach him all your secrets, and then let him escape. That's just silly. The pact is only valid if the boys stay on their respective new worlds, so why not just torture the boy until he wants to run away and let him go? Why not raise him to long for New Genesis and just not tell him about the pact? Hell, why not just fake his kidnapping? The pact doesn't say how old he has to be when he leaves for it to be voided, so just have one of your minions kidnap the baby. Done. Why are you turning him into John Wick? Speaking of names, Granny Panties decides to call the boy scot-free as, quote, a joke about his destiny. Right. All y'all are from Apocalypse, which, last time I checked, ain't Earth. So why would you name him after an Earth, specifically a Western idiom? Whatever. Then we get this throwaway line where Granny Panties tells Darkseid to look into low-rent Deanna Troy's powers to figure out the anti-life equation. The scene implies that she got this from Hegra's book and knows more information, but for some reason decides to withhold the truth from Darkseid because punale forever. Meanwhile, Granny Panties sets about, quote, getting the children of Apocalypse ready for war by torturing them. I added that last part, since Cecil decided to leave it out. Granny Panties is going to torture and murder children to train them for battle. See, it's not that hard to spell it out, little Miss Child Abuse Apologist. Oh, you think I'm being mean, but Cecil pretty much floats right by half a dozen scenes of children being tortured and killed so we can see how Fancy Lad and Xena Warrior Princess first met. Oh look, kids are dying as they form a friendship. How cute. Then we get the retcon of the century. Xena Warrior Princess tells Fancy Lad about insufferable twat. She says, she was my leader, the best of us. I did anything she asked. She asked you to believe her and you didn't. So you didn't do anything she asked. I tried to help and protect her by telling her to suck it up and then choke grabbing her until she passed out and letting Granny Panties hand her over to Shifty McGrabby Hands, who killed her. If that's you trying to help, I'd hate to see what happens when you actually succeed. I failed. Bitch, you never tried. Not once. You didn't even care until Twat was dead. Cecil, what the fuck is this? Did you forget what you wrote in the last 3 issues? Literally from the last issue? You can't have her not caring for 3 whole books and then suddenly caring at the last minute. It makes no sense. Speaking of making no sense, 2 guards roll up just before Fancy Lad hops into a boom tube. Xena protects him, and one of the guards says, she's only a Fury, and then she kicks their asses. And then they promptly tell her that the Forever people are attacking. What? What are you doing? She's a traitor, you just saw that. Right before she whipped your candy asses, she helped Fancy Lad get away and you were gonna arrest her. Now you're feeding her info? And then she says she wants to team up with them to fight the Forever people, but the guys are like, leave it to the real fighters, sweetheart. And Xena's like, it's ma'am, and punches him. Then they arrest her for that 3rd punch. Not the first 2, not for letting Fancy Lad go. I mean, it's not like they know Darkseid wants Scott free to escape, so wouldn't Barda letting him go free be a bigger deal? Nope. The bigger deal is getting to this one line where Xena Warrior Princess resists and the guard says, be quiet, woman. No one wants to hear your opinions. If only someone had said that to Cecil. So Granny Panties finds out that Fancy Lad is gone and panics because she's not ready to lose her favorite fuckboy. She runs to tell Tigra, Orion's mother, that the day for war has finally come, and for some reason, she gives her Hegra's book, because hail vagina. Look, pussies can't stick together. There's no locking mechanism. No matter how many kegels you do, you're not locking the lips. Just ain't gonna happen. But I'll give you credit though. You can probably snatch that dick right on up. Just pop it right on in there. Moving on, we go back to the Furies, who are planning to kill Xena Warrior Princess, but only if not Selena Kyle gives Brock Lesnar pussy privileges. What? This is a feminist comic. You knew at least 6 out of the 6 Furies would be climologists. Get over it. Finally, we come to this. Just look at this. How did this happen? How? It's not like the word balloons are drawn on the page. You have to add them in when you letter. Who lettered this? What's your name? Sal Capriano? Sal, how'd you miss this? Seriously, how? You have one job. You don't have to draw. You don't have to ink. You don't have to color. You don't even have to write. Hell, you don't even have to type. You can just copy and paste from the script. So how do you fuck that up? The word balloon isn't even a drawing. It's a fucking vector image. Just grab the sides and pull. Problem solved. There's no way you didn't see this. It's impossible. You have to have seen it. When you added the words, you had to see it. No, it's not your fault. Jamie Rich, how did this get past 3 editors? Count them. 1, 2, 3. 3 editors, and nobody saw this shit. It's not like it's a white Starbucks cup sitting on a backlit table in clear view of a camera on a $100 million show. That shit's easy to miss. No, this shit you can see as a fucking thumbnail file. How do you fuck that up? Speaking of fucked up, this douchebag tells Xena Warrior Princess that in order to file a complaint, she needs the word of a man. And a man, which is a rule that's never existed on Apocalypse as far as I know. So of course, she immediately goes to Shifty McGrabby Hands. But why? Dude said any man. Any. You had to pass like 50 motherfuckers to get to this schmuck. Why didn't you ask one of them? Hell, if you spoke in your real voice, you could probably sign it yourself. So of course, Shifty McGrabby Hands refuses, saying boys will be boys. Who didn't see that coming? You lying motherfucker, you saw it coming. Stop lying. Meanwhile, Granny Panties tells Darkseid that Fancy Lad is now scot-free, so the war can begin, and these evil straight white men call her a stupid woman for not realizing they're already at war. She dismisses this, and Darkseid, in a moment of being a good feminist ally, guess that's why he's such a rapist, agrees with Granny Panties. Then they decide that they need to kill Fancy Lad because he knows too much. Well, whose fault is that? Didn't you two idiots train him in your ways instead of just getting him to run away? I mean, this was your plan. He did exactly what you wanted him to do, and now, because he knows shit that you told him, now you want to kill him. Cecil, this shit is retarded, and it just gets worse. Xena catches feelings for Fancy Lad. Granny Panties confronts her, and Xena is like, I already paid for what I did. Besides, now he owes me one. And Granny Panties is like, never do a man a favor. They don't need him. Isn't that how you got into Darkseid's good graces and how he got into your litter box? And you might need to do him a favor because with that dry ass motherfucker, he's gonna need some Mercurochrome for his dick. So Granny Panties sends Xena to apologize to McGrabby Hands to get back into his favor. Just let it go. And of course he tries touching her, but she bats him off. He threatens to rat on her about killing Steppenwolf's bastard, and instead of just kicking his ass, she goes to Darkseid and admits what happened, and gets rewarded by being made the leader of the Furies. What? Cecil, your whole story, the whole story has hinged on no man believing anything that these women say, and being the pettiest motherfuckers this side of the progressive stack. They've dismissed everything insufferable twat said. But Xena Warrior Princess mans up and now you wanna, oh, never mind. So of course, Granny Panties plans to use Xena's love for Fancy Lad as bait. Xena informs the Furies of her new title, and not Selena Kyle bitches about it, and we get this lame chick fight. They're not even naked. Where's the jello? See, feminists ruin everything. But you know who probably could have knocked this scene out? Eric Esquivel. Too soon? Not Selena Kyle puts this obvious tracking device on Xena's shoulder, and Xena leaves to find Fancy Lad, which was Granny Panties' plan all along. The end. And this is the woman y'all gave Batgirl to. Yeah, Cecil's gonna write Batgirl. She thoroughly ruined Jack Kirby's fourth world, so you're gonna give her another character to fuck with. I mean, after Pippi Busted Stockings and generic hipster douchebag number 24, Babs has been fucked worse than a woman in a Dirty Harry movie. But she still got a pulse, so let's give Cecil a go. And you wonder why y'all can't get people to buy superhero comics. No thought was put into this comic. From top to bottom, this book reads like everyone involved just didn't care. Hell, I'm starting to think the whole point of the book was just to set off people like me. They just hate publishing now. No concern for what this does to the characters or their own credibility. Just putting out fourth-rate comics to spite people who can't stand shitty stories. This is why you're being outsold by manga and Captain Underpants. This is why you gotta include crowdfunded comics in your yearly totals. I get that you're not interested in making anything memorable, but you're not even interested in making anything entertaining. You're just ruining other people's great work. On the plus side, I look forward to all your comics being outsold by a manga about cooking. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.